hate it when that happens.
And then it gets interesting. In the latest from Pixar Animation, two teen elf brothers, go on a journey to discover if there is still a little magic left out there in order to spend one last day with their father in Onward.
Aw, I'm already crying at the thought of it. It stars the voices of Tom Holland and Chris Pratt, best known from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and our own Devo Brown got to check out this film and catch up with the cast. That's a big cast.
It's a big cast. It's a great cast. Tom Holland and Chris Pratt, of course. They are brothers from the Marvel Cinematic Universe as well. So these guys, they have a little history of working together, but they are the voices of Ian and Barley, who are the two lead characters in Onward.
Now, Tom Holland, we should say, plays Spider-Man. And Chris Pratt is Guardians of the Galaxy. I forget his character's name.
I want to say, Star-Lord. Star-Lord is what he wants to be.
Yeah.
Here they are in a very cool premise. I feel like we're all going to cry at this movie.
You're definitely going to cry. There's a lot of tears that happen in this one. So they're two brothers. On his 16th birthday, he's trying to spend another day with his dad, and he gets a chance to do that. But as you saw there, the dad is just legs.
Yeah.
So they need to try and go on a quest in order to get all of Dad.
Okay.
It's interesting. I saw some teasers for it at Disney, and it's an interesting premise.
Yeah.
Have you seen? And did you see the whole movie?
I've seen the entire thing.
Okay.
This is when I went to San
just
Francisco.
half of it, so to speak.
Yes, well played. When I went to San Fran as well to see how it was made and kind of the story behind it and everything with the directors and the producers and all that. This was a personal story to the director who lost his father at a very young age and didn't have really any kind of knowledge of him and wanted to learn about him as he went on. So that's kind of what the premise is here. A lot of tears, as you mentioned, and Chris and Tom talk about that. And kind of the generation of guys and us being emotional and how it's different now than it was before. This is what they had to say about that. That doesn't work. Grown man tears.
Grown man tears.
Oh, yeah. Man.
I'm not like a fully grown man tears, so I'm like a half-grown man tears, is what I would be.
Like these generations, it feels like progressively become more and more comfortable with emotion.
Sure.
There's like not that same stigma around crying the way there were in my generation or even someone older than me. It was like, don't ever cry. We heard that all the time. And that's what's so moving about this movie is I've had a lot of men come up to me and just look at me and be like, yo, I cried, okay? I'm like, that's great.
Bro.
Yeah.
Just don't worry about what's happening. It's dusty in here.
Yes,
Okay? Don't worry about it.
Dude, I cry all the time, man. I'm a real crier.
That's great.
I actually really like crying.
It's
a
good.
great, like, release.
It's a perfect emotional and healthy thing to do.
Totally.
Yeah.
And I did not know Tom Holland
Had an accent.
is from England. Who knew this?
When he told me he doesn't have an accent.
Everybody knew that.
I didn't know that.
He started on stage in England.
He's so good at the American
He's
accent.
so great. He's so great. So, again, it is emotional. And for Chris Pratt, who lost his father in 2014 while filming Jurassic World, he had to kind of tap into his emotions. And it brings you to a different place. And you talk about kind of how that played into his performance as well.
Actually, there is a way to access a great performance without having to tap into your own emotions. I'm not always capable of doing that, so sometimes you do have to open up that can of worms deep in your psyche to allow yourself to feel pain or whatever emotional vulnerability in that moment. You're obviously intent on giving a great performance, doing your best, and so sometimes you have to tear open some old wounds. Afterwards, walking out of there, you have to try to take some time to intentionally repackage some of that stuff and put it back, or else you can become a mess.
I can't wait to see this movie.
And how could it not show up for him, though? Talking about, story about a dad, they're losing their dad, he just lost his dad. How could you not feel emotions like that?
And we chatted outside of that as well, and he was saying it was tough for him.
Yeah.
He said, I gotta be honest, man, there was days I went home and cried after. Yeah. Like, it was really tough.
And it's okay to cry, guys.
It is. It's totally okay. And it's about brothers as well. I'm not going to give too much away about it. We're going to hear more from those two next week as well. I had so much fun with the two of them. They were great. And they are really close with each other, and you find that out next week as well. So the movie does come out March 5th. So what should we do?
Let's send you and a friend. Yes. A special advance screening happening Wednesday, March 4th at 7:30 p.m. right here at the Young Dundas Complex.
Yeah, go to bttoronto.ca, click on contest to enter. It is that simple. I think you'll love the movie.
Yeah, I suggest you do. You're going to really enjoy it. It's a great film.
They do such a good job.
Yeah, it's so good.
More on BT coming up after the break.
Oh, that's great, Dad. You